Hey there. Today we're going to be talking about failure. And this is a topic that a lot of people like to avoid, but there's so much value to actually diving deeper. Welcome to Supercharge Your Sunday. Hi, I'm Amrita Madhusudan. I'm an author, speaker, emotional wellness and productivity coach, and I happen to consider myself a pretty good authority on failure because I've had to deal with a lot of it in my life, and each time I've failed, I've learned something from that failure, and this is what I would like to share with you today. We're looking at how to find the hidden opportunities in failure. So before we begin, let's discuss what failure really is. So failure is when you have a goal that's not met or there's an expectation that's not fulfilled. And basically, there is a sense of disappointment and a sense of inadequacy that you feel within yourself. So today we're going to be looking at 5 steps you can take to make sure that the next time you do face failure, you are able to get the most out of it and do so much better the next time you try. So the first of your 5 steps is to really allow yourself to feel all the emotions that you're feeling. So a failure is, as I mentioned before, accompanied by a sense of disappointment. You might feel a sense of loss and sorrow. There might be anger and frustration. And normally these are all emotions that we are very uncomfortable with, and we are not really taught how to let ourselves feel these emotions. And it's really important before you do anything else, if you have encountered failure, the first step is to allow yourself to feel those emotions fully. And if you need, find a friend that you can talk to about it, who will listen without judging. If you don't have someone who will not try to make you feel better immediately, journal about it. So the idea is to allow yourself to empty all these emotions out. And there is no time limit on this. Please don't say that you have to be done with this by tomorrow. You have to let yourself take the time that you need, because your mind and body know best. And if you are feeling sad, let yourself feel sad. So there's a couple of things to be careful about in this whole endeavor. The first is if you are starting to feel resentment. This is an emotion that we are trying not to encourage, because resentment carries with it a little bit of blame energy, and the idea is not to try and assign blame to somebody or something that is the root cause of your failure. You have to look within yourself and see how you feel about the fact that you have not achieved what you set out to do. So resentment is very, very counterproductive, and it does not allow you to grow and heal the way you would like to do. So if resentment does come up, just acknowledge that there is some resentment, but don't try to dive deeper into it or dwell on why and how and who is involved and responsible. So as we discussed with resentment, the idea is not to wallow in all these emotions, even the other ones, the anger and the fear. The idea is to acknowledge that these emotions are present and they are exactly what you're feeling. They are your reality in that moment. So it's to acknowledge without making yourself feel more miserable. Step 2 is to allow the emptiness. And what do I mean when I say this? So first, by completing the first step of allowing yourself to feel those emotions fully, you are going to feel like you have released all those emotions. So there will be some space inside you. The other aspect of this emptiness could be very well the space that dream or goal used to occupy, and now you have to find a new way of being without this goal. So some questions to ask yourself are, who am I without this goal or dream? And also to look at that emptiness and ask that emptiness if there's anything that you need to know from it or about it. And this sounds a little strange because it's not something that we do very often. But there's a lot to be gained from looking and accepting that there is a little bit more emptiness than we were used to. And also our tendency when there is this sort of emptiness inside us is to go and fill it with something, because we're not comfortable again with emptiness either. It's one of those things that we don't like to feel. But just think of the emptiness as actually space. This is space that you now have for you to grow into, but you can't force that. So let that emptiness be until you are ready to make the best use of that space. Now we come to the third step. Step 3 is where you review your efforts. As I said in the beginning, there is a lot to be gained from looking closer at failure. And one of the best things you can do is to look back at what you did and the entire circumstances and situation that you just went through, and to see what happened exactly. Because now you have made your peace with all the emotions. You have achieved a more calm and rational frame of mind. It is from this frame of mind that you are looking back, because now you have a little bit of distance, emotional as well as temporal distance from the event. So you are able to look at the entire event and get a better idea of things that went wrong. And this could be actual physical things that you didn't do the way you wanted to do. It could be thoughts that came up that prevented you from fully committing to the actions you took. So this is another really great time to journal about what is coming up for you. Step 4 is to reframe the entire event. One of my favorite presuppositions is the thought that everyone is doing the best they can with what they have. So this is a way of looking at the situation from a new light, to say that you did your best given your circumstances, given your resources. Now that you know better, you can do better next time. So that is one way of looking at what happened in a slightly more positive frame of mind. The other really important thing that you can use is that there is no failure, there is only feedback. So you can look at your journey to your dream as a multi-step process. This step was not meant to get you to your final goal. This step was meant to give you information and knowledge that you can then take and apply as you make your next attempt. So the idea is that this event that you're now feeling so upset about is something that has come into your life to teach you a really valuable lesson that you can then take and apply as you go further. There are more ideas for reframing the situation in the free workbook that accompanies this video training. The last and final step, step 5, is to give yourself time. It's really important that you take the time that you need before you make your next attempt. So you have to allow yourself to integrate all the information that you have learned, all the awareness that you now have about how you work and what helps you reach your goal and what keeps you away from it. So this is very, very valuable information that it's not always instantaneous the way your body and your mind integrate and process these things. So there is no rush. You have all the time that you need to achieve your goals. It is important that you pause. Give yourself space to really integrate everything that you've learned, incorporate that into your life, and then when you're ready, you will be able to make much better plans in the future. You will feel much better about yourself, and you will be able to begin with a clean slate. Because one of the things that failure does is that it makes us doubt ourselves. It makes us feel like we are not capable. And it makes us feel like our goal is really, really, really far away and we can't achieve it. So unless we are able to put failure in its appropriate place in our lives and learn from it, it's going to color how we see ourselves and what we are capable of. Using these 5 steps will set you up for success in the future, and you will be able to make the progress you really want, achieve your dreams, and live your best life. If you got something of value today, please like this video and share it with your friends. Subscribe to this channel for weekly trainings on how to maximize your potential and live the life that you've always dreamed of. If you would like daily inspirational tips and tricks that you can try, please follow me on Instagram. And last but not least, the link to the workbook accompanying today's video can be found in the description below. So here's to you living your dreams with joy and ease.